Do you have the shingles again? I see you scratching.
No, it's just the after effects.
If you give me the shings, I'm out of here.
You can't get it if you have whatever it was.
Come on.
You gotta bleep that out now? Okay,
Yes.
bleep it out because they'll be like, what disease did he say? And then they'll research us and, become more of a fan.
They'll find out what disease you actually have.
I haven't had a physical in years, so don't joke.
Why don't you just get a physical?
Because, I don't know, I'm lazy, I have no time.
Okay. So,
Do you have time to just go to the doctor?
once a year, yes.
I guess so. I can do
Yeah.
it once a year.
You go to the doctor once, you go to the dentist twice.
I always go to the dentist.
Okay. The Bat's pajamas.
That sounds like a child's film.
The dentist of fate.
Why does it always have to be a fucking, what is it? What's it?
Closet rock star.
It's too much like this. Everyone now who hears that is going to think I meant my life.
Clay and Abel.
See, that's still, like, what's that saying for that kind of stuff?
Cain enabler.
I mean, it's getting there. I love biblical references, you know those?
Bible child.
Bible babes.
Boo Boo Babes. Goo Goo Gaga. Why is your tongue white? You're dying. Oh, you're dying. How about that for a movie?
I just had coffee and smoked to join my tongues. Now you got me
You
nervous.
just try to look at your tongue. No, your tongue, you're fine.
Listen, look how high I look.
Yeah.
You're worrying about my tongue?
You look like the ultimate bachelor.
Just caught a glimpse of myself.
You
My
look like
eyes
you're
are
in the
barely
Crips.
open.
Why are you wearing so much blue?
I don't know. It's my wardrobe.
It's
The
your
clips?
It's my wardrobe. How about wardrobe?
Okay.
All right. How about
My eyes are barely open. How do you look at me?
how about the Constitution of Death?
That's too wordy. Hold on. We're getting there.
How about Fangina?
Fangina? That's too kooky.
Um,
How about Jaws of Death?
Jaws of Death?
How
What?
about caffeine tension headache?
You're fine. You want Tylenol?
No. Okay.
How about Tie My Balls?
No, it's Jaws of Death, and it's about Jaws of life that get possessed by someone who died in a car crash that they couldn't save.
I am once again uninspired, but if you want to start it out, I will follow you there.
Yeah. Okay. So it starts off who's driving? Two people, maybe
All right.
three, maybe four.
How about a man? How about two guys, two girls? Wait, yes, two guys, two girls.
Two. How about it's a family?
A family.
No, because we want to get the thing. Okay, we need to be someone who's not too good of a person.
One guy. It's just one guy.
One
One
guy.
girl.
They pick someone up who's not a good person.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So, a guy and a girl. They're moving.
What are their names? Mindy.
I was going to name Misky.
How about Mindy? And David.
Okay. Yeah.
And they're moving, so they're driving a U-Haul?
Yeah, okay. Well, okay, yeah. They're driving a U-Haul, and they're full of shit in there.
Yeah. And why would they pick someone up? I mean, that's like a two-seater.
That's
They
what
do
I'm
it.
saying.
Yeah. But David's in a kooky mood.
Because there's a storm coming.
There's a storm coming.
It's all over the radio.
And it's a lady that's the hitchhiker. And they're like, it's a woman. Like,
course.
they underestimate
Yeah,
her.
they see, and her car's broken down.
Yeah. So they pick her up.
And it's starting to hail, and the radio's been warning about it. Because a crazy blizzard's coming.
How about hail?
I would like it in winter.
You like it winter?
I like to have it in the winter because it goes good with the what's coming up.
Okay.
Yes, it comes up. Yeah. So there's this crazy storm's coming. They see her. She's on the side, and they're not arguing. They're like talking about how great it's going to be for their new life that they're starting.
New life. Who moves in winter?
Well, I think that
No, it happens.
they should talk about the situation.
I've
and it's going to be
only
behind
moved
them.
in winter.
The situation.
I'm glad to have all that business put behind us.
Well, it's a throwaway line that he says. maybe in later we'll find out why they actually moved that.
Good. Let's give ourselves more work to do.
All right. I was reaching for wheat, I think. I don't know. Did you see this?
Okay, all right. So they pick up this lady, and what happens?
Well, she's extremely thankful and kind.
Yes.
And she's like almost panicked because she thought she was going to die out there.
Yeah.
She had no service, and she heard about the storm coming. That's all she could think about. And, and they're talking about where they're going towards the town, whatever. And what does she say to them?
She says, and I've had this awful toothache, and she starts rubbing her jaw.
Yeah. They go, oh, did you hit something or no?
And she goes, no, I was waiting for you. And they're like, and then Mindy goes, David?
For anyone, right?
No. And Mindy goes, David, I don't like this. Pull over. And they go, and then the lady goes, let me see that arm. And bites her arm.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
No.
Yeah.
No, because so they're driving, and she starts complaining about her toothache, and so she's actually like, oh, it wasn't an accident or anything, right? She'll go, oh yeah, why did you pull over anyway? Was something wrong with your car? And she's like, oh, it was my tooth. And then she's like, are you okay? Now she's hunched over. And David's like, still driving, and we keep getting shots of what he sees out the window, and it's more and more blizzard. The roads are getting really caked up quick, and there's no one in sight either. And then he's like, "What's going on? Is she okay?" And she's like, "Oh," and then she turns around, and we see her. We get a shot of her arms are clenched, but then we see her slip a blade out of her shirt, her jacket, like her arm,
her sleeve.
The arm part where you put your... I was going to explain.
Yeah, it's where little generals keep their armies.
Kind of, it's the same area where you would have a watch on, but the jacket's touching that part.
Yeah.
The sleeve. So we see her pull out this knife. It's kind of like a long, weird one, I think, maybe. And then she pulls it out. It's maybe a long, weird, intricate looking...
Maybe it looks like, from like Mesopotamia.
Whatever that means, yes.
Yeah.
But then we see kind of like a glare of it catches the light and glares a little bit. And then she's still going, and she goes, are you okay, miss? And then she goes, just stabs her right through the neck, comes out the back.
Yes.
And then the blood goes on to David. And he goes, oh my God. And then they swerve. And then, they got this heavy thing. And we get a shot of actually all the shit in the U-Haul. And you just see the refrigerator go over. And then we get an outside shot. And you just see the U-Haul fly over.
Yeah.
And the whole thing tumbles down the road.
Okay, yes, go.
Well, that's what.
Well, when it lands, we go back instead of showing the truck, we go back to the refrigerator, and the door opens up, and some ketchup comes out. Now, this is the thing: when you move, you don't take your refrigerator.
No, maybe they. Oh yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
Okay, the dresser.
The refrigerator usually stays with the house. Okay, yeah.
It's the huge dresser, the armoire.
Yeah, the armoire.
Oh, it's from the other film too.
Yes, that's true.
We gotta always put these things in there.
We gotta put these things in there. Put it in the armoire.
So.
Hey, don't talk right in.
I know. We can cut that out. So now we just get this awesome open shot where it's just like dead silence of the blizzard. All you hear is the wind and the emptiness, and then the blinker of the U-Haul going.
Yeah.
And it's like flashing in the light in the.
Then we cut to the morning, and it's like half submerged in snow.
Oh, because they kind of go off the road a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
And the police pull up to it. The sheriff gets out. He knocks on it. He calls for an ambulance. Then he knocks on there. He goes, hello? Hello? And he sees someone in there. He opens the door. The blade comes up into his neck now. She goes, and
oh, no. We're missing the whole point. We fucked up. We got to go back.
Go back.
Because the car, the U-Haul flips over, and then we get this silent shot with the blinker. And then eventually we see in the distance a car coming. It's the plow. And then we're inside the plow now, seeing the plow in the snow, and then we see the U-Haul in the distance, and then we see him. He's like, "Oh shit!" And he's looking, and he calls in. He's like, "We 1044. We need to call in a blah 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 down here."
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the next shot is we'll fade out of that, and we'll fade back in, and it'll be like surrounded by cops and everything, and they're trying to get them out of the thing, but they can't, so they got to get the jaws of life.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And as he's breaking open the jaws of life, something should happen.
It bites because the killer lady's still in there too.
And
it bites through her.
Oh, wait. So they're like, "Can you hear us in there? We're gonna get you." And the fucking killer lady is now using the dead guy as a puppet.
No, the lady's dead. He's not necessarily dead.
Oh, yeah,
They're
yeah, he's
both
just knocked out.
Yeah, they were both
And
knocked.
he's using her because now she put her. We see the woman.
She's using Mindy as a puppet.
Listen, but first we see Mindy talking out the window from the cop's perspective, and we're kind of confused why Mindy's alive. We're like, what the fuck? And then we slowly go through the window shot. They fade through the window, and now we're inside the cab, and then we see Mindy talking, but then from the side, but we see the hand in her head going into the crazy lady, and she's going.
Yeah, and David's starting to wake up.
Oh my God.
And he goes, Mindy!
He goes, "Honey, what happened?" And she's still miming.
Yeah, and he goes,
my God.
"Go back to sleep, honey." And then
Honey, it was all a dream, honey. He goes,
he starts screaming, and then he starts fighting the crazy lady.
Yeah.
But because they're fighting, when the jaws of life come to rip open the door, it bites through the crazy lady, and it rips her head off.
Yes, because he pushes her up into it at the last second.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Oh no!" And so then, and it's a whole thing. There's like blood all over the cops.
Covered in blood.
Dude, that's a fucking great scene. Are you kidding me? The jaws of life slips and then it just smashes her head.
Yeah. Okay.
That is a great scene.
Cut to, he's at his wife's funeral.
Yes.
He's so
traumatized. He's in a wheelchair, being pushed around by his great aunt.
Because he's catatonic?
Well, he probably had an injury, but looks like he might as well just be in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
He's just staring off to the right corner. Pale. He's pale.
Yeah.
Was black.
Trauma turned him Caucasian.
It's so crazy, man. Have you ever been in a situation? I hope not.
Yeah, how do you think I got like this? Okay. So.
Well, yeah. So now, it's kind of like question time almost. But everyone's kind of afraid for question time because of the state.
What is question time?
You know that point in the funeral?
Okay.
Where you go,
okay, we got some questions.
Out there? He's dead. Does anyone know?
Yeah, but what do you mean question time?
Well, okay, I meant it in the air. Like a zeitgeist, everyone's like wondering like how did this happen, but no one can actually pull them aside, on the phone before, just after this happened, right? Hasn't been a time to really sit down with David and be like, tell us what happened that night.
Oh, so then he gets pushed out. So I think Mindy's sister is who's pushing his wheelchair. His sister-in-law is who's kind of taking care of him.
Sister-in-law.
Yeah. Mindy's.
And she kind of looks like her.
Yes.
For some reason. We'll go for that later.
What do you mean for some reason? They're siblings.
No, I mean, I pointed that out for some reason. For some reason, you remind me of sister. I don't like it. Yeah,
And she wheels him out because it's the end of the funeral, and there's the sheriff. And he goes, it's time for him to come downtown and answer some questions. And the sister-in-law, Mandy, that's going to be...
Mandy?
No, but we shouldn't do that because it's just going to be...
Sandy. Mindy and Sandy.
Mindy and Sandy.
We've used Sandy before.
Sandra.
We've used that name so many times.
It's fine. How many...
Annette.
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 It's a thing.
And, okay, so... Annette is like, really? At my sister's funeral?
Wait, what happened?
The sheriff met them outside. It's like, it's time for him to come down. It's question time.
Sorry, son, but it's just when it landed right
No,
now.
but he's like, we waited as long as we could.
We couldn't wait any longer. We had to do it on the day of the funeral. Like the minute of the funeral.
And no, it's like word is he's leaving town after today. And then he goes, does he look like he's in any condition to leave town?
What do you think is a flight risk?
And he goes, ma'am, with all due respect, I am the sheriff and you are the sister-in-law.
Why are you talking? We live in New York.
Ma'am, I love you.
Does he though?
Well, maybe. Okay, so they bring him down for interrogation. They're like, listen, David, we can't imagine the hurt you're going through, but...
Is he in his suit still?
Yeah.
He left.
Yeah. We need to know what happened that day, because...
Everyone at the party was like, they're all sitting down for cake.
They saw him get taken
and
away.
we see their view of him outside through the window. And then everyone's kind of quiet and like looking at each other.
Yeah.
Because everyone's suspicious now.
Yeah,
and then they all kind of look at the picture of Mindy.
Yeah.
Mindy? On the wall. Huge portrait.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. It's her funeral.
Put a huge portrait of her on the... Oh, yeah, I guess they had it printed, yeah.
Yeah. And he goes, we saw you wrestling with the other girl. And remember?
Yeah. Duh.
And she had a knife. We recognize that. But we don't know the whole story.
We never found her card that you spoke of.
For all we know...
It was some kind of sex triangle.
Why would you jump to that, Billy?
No, I think they should push like the sex triangle. Like weird sex thing.
We've seen knives like that on the internet. And they're only been used for two things. Mesopotamian sacrifice and sex.
You ever hear of furs, David?
We ain't in Mesopotamia.
We in sex. It's actually Sex, Virginia.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. It takes place in Sex, Virginia.
I
You know
don't-
there's Come
New York.
No, Pennsylvania.
Also known as Rochester.
Orgasm, Pennsylvania.
I didn't know about orgasm.
Climax.
Oh, Orgasm, Pennsylvania.
Sorry.
Welcome to Cum Puddle, Nevada. Littlest, stickiest town in the West.
All right, yeah. So they're in Sex, Virginia.
Yeah. You know, the three Virginias. Virginia, West Virginia, Sex Virginia.
Somewhere in the middle.
That's an old fancy way of saying South.
All right. So.
Now, I don't know about this whole sex thing angle.
Wait,
Okay.
because what was the line again? You go. Hold on, what was the
We
line?
ain't in Mesopotamia.
And we in sex. And she goes, I know where we are, Sheriff.
Who's she?
That was the sister.
Well, the sister's in the room.
Okay.
I know where we are.
Yeah,
and
he
this
knows
is,
where we are, Sheriff.
He doesn't. Oh no, she goes. He doesn't know where we are. You're talking to a damn vegetable. He hasn't said a damn word since the accident.
Yes,
I
that's
think.
a good one.
I think he doesn't need to hear any more of this without a lawyer.
We're gonna lawyer up. The sheriff says, "Are you saying you're gonna lawyer up?" Why is that funny? There's nothing funny about that.
Because it's not moving the story along at all. And she goes, I think we
wanted
will.
to show off that I knew that terminology.
I think we will.
Yeah, lawyer up, as you say.
I think we'll add more elements to this story. Then the lawyer walks in.
Yeah. What's he like?
Well, I don't know if he walks in. This is hours go by. They called, and he's like, I
Do
got
we
here.
need this to happen?
Maybe. He's very handsome.
Oh, he could be an element.
I'm Roy Element, attorney at law. And it's against the Constitution to ask questions of a man who hasn't spoke in more than 30 days.
Is it?
Yes.
That's what the sheriff says. Is it?
For all you know.
And he looks at his partner, Ray,
Yeah.
and Ray goes,
Maybe we should lawyer up too.
should we lawyer up?
That won't be necessary, gentlemen. I'll be taking the man, David. And he wheels him out.
He goes, my office will contact you.
Yeah.
He goes, are we being detained? Is my client being detained, sir?
Yeah.
And the sheriff goes, no, Mr. Element. And he goes, well, then my client and I
We'll be leaving
sex.
tonight.
Tonight.
We're leaving sex tonight.
Yeah.
So while you...
And where might you be going? Sheriff, your business is in sex only. What happens outside of sex is none of your business. And then they look, and Sheriff looks at Ray, and Ray goes, gives him a like, yeah, I guess, whatever.
I guess that's being sheriff.
I love this, man. It's good.
Okay, yes. So now the lawyer gets out and he goes, and how will Mr. David be paying me? And Mandy goes, oh, you're a regular shyster, aren't you?
Yeah, I thought it was pro bono.
And he goes, actually, I hate you two.
And he goes, I'm a lawyer. I'm honest. See? That's why people like me.
That's why people love lawyers, because we're honest.
Yeah, that's the game he plays.
Yeah.
And what is it? Mindy seems intelligent, though.
Intelligent and beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Older.
And he goes, how about this? We could settle up another time. For now, why don't I take you two to dinner on my dime?
Well, is he going to say, well, I don't want to go into logistics.
They go to the ground round.
That's funny. They take him to the ground round.
This is my favorite restaurant. I'm just a little kooky like that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be fancy or anything.
And they go, that's okay. And then he starts hand feeding David
Because
popcorn.
these two are from New York.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He starts taking the popcorn and feeding it to David.
He goes, wow, I'm not used to getting popcorn as a
Was the ground round?
instead of water.
The ground round might be specific to New York, though.
Oh, that's definitely not a South thing.
But let's just pretend.
Okay. How about a Jack in a Box?
No, ground round. And the lawyer goes, I have just one question. And he looks at David. He goes,
Wait, no, there should be a little funny ordering scene.
okay.
The waitress comes over. Can I get you gentlemen and woman?
And woman? That's right. I'm the first woman to ever step foot in the ground round.
And they go, excuse me? She goes, oh, I'm sorry. I did not mean to impose.
I'll just be leaving.
In the kitchen.
I'll just be quitting.
She goes, no, it's not. I just didn't see you there. This could be something.
What could this be? It makes no sense.
Oh.
Yes.
No, it would make more sense if she didn't notice the catatonic.
It would make more sense. Wait, yeah.
Okay, so she doesn't say that.
Wait, okay, no. So the lawyer goes, David, I don't know if you can hear me, but I don't think you're faking. And I've never heard of someone killing their own wife and a strange woman and then going catatonic from the trauma. So I think you saw something terrible that night. I got a buddy who's a hypnotist.
I got some alternative methods.
Oh, maybe he just pulls out a pocket watch and starts hypnotizing.
Oh, that's so much better.
Yeah. And
Wait.
And Mandy goes, I thought you were a lawyer.
Atmosphere because we hear chatter and clutter in like the restaurant, and then as he starts talking about this hypnotism, we start like the levels drop slowly, and then it's just very.
Wait. Before we
concentrated
do
on their
that, Mandy
voices.
goes, I thought you were a lawyer. And he's like,
We all have side jobs, honey. We all have hobbies.
I think maybe he hypnotized the bar into making him a lawyer. Like he didn't take the test. He's not a lawyer. He's just a master hypnotist.
Okay.
Should we go with that?
No, I think he'd just be like, everyone has hobbies, honey.
Everyone's got a side job.
A side gig.
Side. Oh, it's a gig economy, baby.
Okay, Southern Austin Powers. No, he just says something along those lines.
Yeah.
Moving along.
Everybody's got their talents, Mandy.
Everyone's got a dick in there.
Everyone's
got elbows, sweetie.
Everyone's got a dick in the boot.
A dick in the boot, yeah.
Okay, this is all getting cut out.
Really?
It's stupid, and we sound stupid.
It sounds really stupid. Okay, definitely cut it out.
Okay.
But listen.
Yes.
I really want to get back to this.
I do too. Yes.
Do we have a funny ordering scene?
No! Just imagine there's one.
All right, so they ordered their food, and then he starts talking about hypnotism.
Wait, maybe he'll say, I'll have the chicken fingers. Well done.
Okay, or he goes...
And then he looks at Mandy and he goes, you know, I've been eating chicken fingers for 30 years, but I ain't never seen one in the wild. And she goes, chickens? And he goes, they fingers. Is that good enough for you?
Yeah, I like it. It's not, okay.
You know what I call French toast sticks? And she goes, what? He goes, morning chicken fingers.
And she goes, good morning, sweetie.
And he goes, I like that.
I like you.
I'm going to call you chicken fingers.
That's it. She's chicken fingers now, and he's like talking to the cat.
He's feeding David popcorn. He's drunk out of his mind. Whoa, did we miss...
Then you immediately start drooling over the TV, forgetting everything you're doing.
No, we will, we'll cut this out too. So the hypnotism scene.
No, it was a funny ordering scene to chicken
No,
fingers.
we already did that.
All right,
chicken fingers, remember?
I'm just saying how nice it was.
Thank
and then those sound levels drop into place and we get really intimate because all we hear are their voices and it's really like, kind of like ASMR-ish. And he's hypnotizing and we didn't realize it's already begun once the levels dropped. That's how great it is.
Yeah.
That's how beautifully this scene's going to be shot. And then why is he hypnotizing him? Because he really actually wants to know?
He's trying to get...
This is just his whole act.
Yeah.
To act kind of weird, to get you distrusting.
No, he wants to know. And then all of a sudden, David starts talking, and he relays the night. And he tells the scene.
Yeah, he goes, who was she, David? And it's crazy because we're seeing not flashback images of the same ones we saw before, but they're different kind of perspective.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a floaty, like, review of the scene,
Yeah,
It's kind of like everyone's in still motion, but not.
It's like he is standing there watching it, but he is, like, standing up, like, phasing through the hood of the truck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And while we're seeing all this, we hear this really, like, powerful, intimate voice of the lawyer.
And the lady has a demon face in the memory.
Oh, of course, yeah. But he's like, tell me everything, David, over this footage. And then as we're like getting more and more like ASMR-y, like comfortable, hypnotic, we see the woman. It's going to be like a suspense thing.
Yeah.
And she's standing there and David's approaching her.
It's way more stylized than his memory.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Dario Argento.
Yeah.
Like crazy lights and shit.
Exactly,
yeah.
Right? And then he goes, who was she, David? Show us who she was.
Yeah.
And he goes to turn her around.
He has a crayon in his hand, and he's automatic writing.
Yes.
He's drawing a pentagram.
Is automatic writing used up much for that new stupid movie? But anyway, okay, he's automatic.
I don't know. It's used in all sorts of stupid movies.
Okay. So he's automatic writing. Maybe he's automatic typing for the new kids.
Okay.
He's automatic twittering.
Yeah.
So he goes, who is she, David? Show us. Tell us. Find out who she is. And then he sees her in her car and he goes, I need to help you in the dream. And he turns her around, and as she turns around, she's the demon.
Yeah.
And that's when he freaks out and jumps up. And he jumps up. Mm-hmm. Oh, because he's still at the diner.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's terrifying. That's like passing out in public.
But he stands up. This is the first time
he screams. He's screaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone, and then we get this wide shot from across the room at another table looking at them. and everyone's like they're like almost choking on their food. They've been like.
Oh, there's a bunch of little kids crying.
Yeah, well, it's dead silence at first, and then the baby cries break out.
Yeah, I am so nervous that you're not coming in loud enough. No, don't
Dude,
fuck
this
around.
thing is right on my face.
Yeah, I know. I just worry that I put your levels too low.
Just turn it up a little bit.
No, it's
Check,
got
check.
to stay the same.
Yeah.
I'll just hopefully I can fuck with it in post.
And so it's dead silence, and then all of a sudden, the baby cries come up, and it gets loud, and then like everyone.
She was gonna have a baby.
Oh my god!
And then Mandy starts crying.
She was wait. David screams. She was pregnant.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then Mandy vomits. And then the lawyer sits back and goes, "So you are innocent. Good."
I'll take the case. Fades to black.
First act done.
Oh my god. That was
Okay.
beautiful.
Now let's fucking bomb.
We only got one of those, baby.
Okay. Second act. What's our opening? Is it a courtroom?
I mean, if we want to go there.
No, I don't. Maybe, I don't know.
Hold on. Where are we at in the story? We need to get some. I think the sheriff needs to come back.
Oh, okay. So now they're leaving the ground round.
Well, we faded to black.
Nah, we just cut.
Okay.
Now we're leaving, and now David's walking. They have the wheelchair folded up, and the sheriff's outside. And he goes, "Feeling better, David?" And he goes, and the lawyer goes, "Hey, you're outside of your jurisdiction. Leave my client alone." He's like, "Your client? You decided to take on the case, did you?" And he goes, "Again, you have no jurisdiction here." And the lawyer goes, "Do you see your badge? I'm just here as a fan of the ground round." And then he goes, "You know you don't have enough evidence to pin anything on my client." He goes, "Not in a court of law, but this is sex Virginia."
And then that's when Ray kind of steps up.
And he yeah, and he's like all Weasley.
Yeah, he's got big chest out.
In
You always hear Ray's leather.
ooh, I like that. I like that as a title, Ray's Leather. You go, here in sex, we got different ways of getting justice.
And he looks down.
And he goes, it's just a name.
Who says that?
The lawyer. It's like, I know that. What are you implying?
What are you, 12?
Sex is just an old-fashioned way of saying South.
I think.
I think.
And then Sheriff looks at Ray.
And he goes, "No, it's not."
He goes, "I see you ain't." No, he doesn't say that.
I see you ain't. I see you ain't.
Ah, you ain't a. Oh. You ain't a sex native.
I like that. I want a shirt that says "Sex Native."
Right?
Yeah.
He goes, "I see you ain't a sex native."
Yeah.
And then again, he looks down.
And he kisses him on the lips.
I kind of like.
Yeah. And then the lawyer hypnotizes himself real quick.
That never happened. That never happened. That never happened. No, he doesn't kiss him on the lip. He goes.
No, I really like that.
No, but even better. He's because he's looking at them and he's getting this really, your audience is getting this sexual tension feeling.
Yeah.
And then he kind of like lifts his lip a little. And because now he's against his car. And the sheriff's got the dominating position in front of him. And he like kind of like leans in and he's going in for the kiss.
So many of our movies lately have been about men kissing.
Really? What was the other one? It was called Men Kissing. Oh, listen. So he goes in. And we think that he's going for the kiss, but then he bypasses, goes towards his ear, and we have a now close-up of his mouth by his ear. And what does he whisper?
We got our own ways of doing things in sex.
Oh, wait, he goes, "I love dirty sex."
No, I don't like that.
Come on.
No, that's so stupid.
What about?
He goes, "There's courts older than the Constitution."
Say that. No, he doesn't say that at all. He says,
And he goes, "I'll see you in sex court."
that's it. We got it. He goes, I'll see you in sex court.
That's so stupid.
That's so stupid. That's like www dot what?
.thug.com. Sex court is a cool name for a movie, though.
We got a lot of good names.
We'll go. Okay, no. He just kisses them on the lips.
That's not complicated or anything.
It's just like a way of saying, like, this sounds weird, huh?
And okay, he does kiss him on the lips.
Yeah.
Because maybe these two do know each other.
Oh,
Okay?
that's not what yeah.
Okay, so we don't know that yet. So he,
Oh,
he
okay.
goes, was we actually, okay, it's reversed. We think as the audience,
This,
intelligent.
this isn't even like a weird sex thing. They are just lovers.
We don't, exactly.
Ex-lovers.
But we think, because we're intelligent audience, they're like, yeah, he's going in for a whisper. And then it's a peck on the lips. And then it's like shocking. And then we get a wide shot of the cop car, their car.
Oh my God.
Him kissing, and Ray's still standing there. And then Ray's like,
And the lawyer looks angry. And they get in the car and they go.
he just got, what's that? Cuckold?
No. The lawyer, it's his ex-husband. That's why there's so much tension.
Yeah.
And like the...
And that also that conversation should have been like, why are you helping them?
I know, they have a lot, like, I'm thinking the sheriff was a piece of shit. And that's why they're divorced.
Yeah, it was something like, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. All right, so it's not like a weird sexual intimidation thing. Now we find out that they... Damn, we are making this so complicated.
No, it's great.
Now we find out that the lawyer and the sheriff are like bitter exes. So there's a lot going on.
This is great. This is our most dynamic film yet.
And
It was because of
Mandy
coffee.
goes, "Your ex-husband is the sheriff?" And
Wait, she sees this?
yeah, they were there. They were both standing there. And he goes, "Yes." And she goes, "Isn't that a conflict of interest?" And he goes, I'm the only lawyer in town.
No. She goes, well, she walks over. She goes, do you want to fucking explain something to me? Again, she's with her catatonic brother, in-law. And the lawyer goes, he just gets in the car. And then he like sitting, and she gets in, goes around to the passenger side into the window. She goes, excuse me, I think as your client, I have a right to understand who's representing us.
Yeah.
And he's like, listen. He's like looking forward in the car, not looking under her eyes. He's like, and he explains like, me and the sheriff were lovers in another life. In another life?
You delivered that line really good.
And she goes, in another life? He goes, let's just say I don't think about that guy anymore. That other me.
And she goes, well, how do I know this isn't why you're taking our case? That you're not just working out your own, anger at your ex. And he goes, because I'm a goddamn lawyer and a hypnotist, and I'm the best at both.
And like I said, that lasts longer.
And she goes, well, it doesn't seem like the sheriff knows that.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. Now we fade to black.
Yes. Well, he pulls away. He goes, I'll call you in the morning.
Then we cut to the morning. They're all waking up in a big bed. Every character that's been in the movie so far.
That's beautiful.
And they're like, okay, back to our conflicts.
All right, I guess I gotta go back to the station and wait for something.
No, so then we cut. And now it's just David and Sandy. And this is the first time David's been cognizant in a month.
Because they get in the car and now they're driving away.
No, they're standing there. Everyone's driven away. They're just still standing
And
there.
there's dust still in the air.
And
David should be silent. You hear the cars going in the distance. And then David, because they're both looking away towards the camera, and David should finally stop staring at the ground and look up and say something.
well, no, he already woke up before. Like, he became from the hypnotism when he screamed.
But that was incoherent.
No, he is coherent. He's just like still in shock, but now he looks at her. He hasn't said anything yet, and he's just like, want to go home. And he just starts crying and she holds him. And then we fade to black. Because we know he means home to his old life with her sister.
Or how about he looks out in the distance of the cars in the distance, and it's it's late fall, and he goes,
I thought it was winter.
No. This is when the accident happened. It's now been a year.
Okay. All right.
And he goes, winter's coming again.
I like mine a little better, but...
What was yours again? I didn't remember
I
it.
want to go home.
Oh my God. No, because I think he should be getting strength, not becoming more and more.
He needs to get his strength from Sandy.
But I feel like all this that's the outburst,
Not
that
yet.
hypnotist.
No, that line should be later. Now he lost the defense of Catatonia. Now he is forced into the real world and he's weak like a baby. And then he crumbles into Sandy.
Okay, agree to disagree. Let's move on. Your favorite thing.
So now it's morning.
This awesome scene just happened. We can't stop it.
Now it's morning, and he's sitting out on her porch, and she comes out and she brings him coffee, and
She goes, "Aren't you cold?"
and he goes,
I can't feel anything since the accident.
Oh, he was just catatonic.
What?
He can feel everything.
No, he means emotionally.
Emotionally. Okay.
And we're an intelligent audience. We know what he means because we've seen him walking.
Yeah. He goes, I'm always cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she goes, well, have some coffee.
And please put on
Put on some pants. I can see your genitals.
Tom, that's so childish. Cut that out. Cut it out. All right, come on.
You tell me something.
Wait, so I got really confused because I was...
It's the morning. They're alone together.
Yeah, he's cold.
He's like, oh, and he goes, I've been staying with you for almost a year, and I really...
I think I'm ready to talk.
Oh, I think he's like, you've been taking care of me. Let me do some stuff around the house.
I think I'm strong enough.
Yeah.
And then we cut to a scene with him in his underwear sliding across the wood floor.
No, he just starts doing like some simple tasks. But he's having trouble walking. He has a cane because he's in a wheelchair.
Yes. Okay, so he's doing these simple tasks, and it's kind of like we're kind of like following him out, but we're also kind of looking over her shoulder at what's going on, you know?
And he goes, you've kept my legs strong. And she's like, you were aware during those physical physical therapy activities. And he goes, I have vague memories. Vague.
Of the physical therapy sessions? Okay. No. What?
No, there was intimate scenes of her and his legs.
Wait, she was his physical therapist?
His beautiful, smooth legs.
Hold on. So he's cleaning, and I think this is where he finds something that triggers.
He finds his wife's skull.
Oh, I probably shouldn't have gotten that taxidermy.
It's a family tradition.
No, he finds something. A note, a picture, something.
No, no,
it's even better. Okay, see, we're losing track of the whole real feel of this film. So she's in the kitchen, and she's talking to him, and he's like, I think I'm ready to talk about, stuff, or something like that. And what? No. She's saying, talking about how he needs to get stronger and open up more, and don't worry, time, everything's the time.
Yeah.
But she's also doing something. She's in the kitchen. And, okay, I need to get pliers in her hand or something.
What would one use pliers for?
Like she's doing some kind of like wood thing. She's like making a bird cage or something like.
What?
She's doing, I don't know, some kind of craft thing.
Okay, maybe she's making a bird house?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay.
But
She's just taking coat hangers and twisting them into a bird. I can't believe this movie's still on.
I think it's about to end.
Twisting them into a bird cage. Oh, are they gonna kiss? Wow. She saw his butt in the beginning of this movie, and she still likes him.
No, I got it. I
Okay.
just saw it in my head. She's talking and she's making food. And as she does that, she says something to him. She goes, and you know, I think that it's just a matter of time. And that's all we got. I got nothing but time to help you. And as she's saying this, she's already put her foot on the trash can to open it. And the lid is opened. And then she threw out the eggshells. And then she let go. And now the trash can lid is slowly closing. And he's looking at it across the table. And he sees it slowly closing. And inside you can see like the meat and like the leftover shit in there. And it looks like guts and stuff. And he's just like, and this is what triggers, what does it, is it a flashback? Is it a freak out?
It reminds him of the jaws of life.
And he picks up the knife on the table and goes to stab Sandy.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh my God, what happened? What are you doing?" And she turns around with the pot, the eggs and everything.
Yeah.
And she like goes to like deflect it, and the fucking grease goes everywhere. Everyone gets like burned.
Everyone gets burned in their faces.
No.
Just skulls. I mean, I'll meet you there if you want.
No. Okay, so he goes to stab her, and she like moves out of the way, and he stabs the cabinet door.
Okay.
You know, the cup cabinet door.
Yeah, the cup net.
The cup net. And he's going, oh, he's like wide-eyed and pale and crying.
Yeah.
And because do you think that he looked in the garbage as it was closing? He like, because he's sitting at a table and he kind of
And
like,
he saw the demon face.
yeah, he saw her in there.
Yeah.
And she was going, "I'm gonna get out of here." And this is a good trash theme too.
Yeah. What? Okay.
And so then he freaks out, does that, stabs the cabinet. That's a great scene. And now what does she do? She calls the sheriff.
No, no, we can't break their bond.
No, okay, she's quivering in the corner. She's like, she doesn't know what's happening.
And he goes, "I have to go. I'm dangerous. I can't be around anyone. Maybe
He just goes, "I'm sorry, I'm leaving."
Yeah.
And then he just like head down, hands out, freaking out, runs out of the room.
And then she stops him. She puts her hand on his shoulder, turns him around, and kisses him.
No. I think he should leave, and then she's like contemplating what to do, and we don't
And
know.
then she calls the lawyer.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Well, she's standing in the kitchen by herself, and then we don't know what's happening. And all of a sudden, we're in a shabby hotel room, like a motel. It's
Why?
a motel because the lawyer's been living there since he broke up with his husband. Yeah, it's a motel.
What? He's a lawyer.
But he's a hypnotist lawyer who's trying to get on his feet. Someone help me up!
Oh, you think the sheriff took him for everything? Oh, yeah, because he has connections in the courts and shit.
Dude, yes. This is why it's almost secondary plot revenge story for the lawyer.
Yeah.
This is good. And then yeah, so we're in the shabby hotel room, and what's he watching?
Cartoons.
No. Okay, he's watching Night Court. Yeah, he's just sitting there watching Night Court. Reading a hypnotism book.
Okay. Yeah.
Hypnotism for Dummies.
It says hypnotism in the law, question mark.
Oh my God!
He's like, I can't believe I've never read this book before.
Right on. Oh my God, that's hilarious. All right, so then the phone rings, obviously.
Okay, yeah. And she goes, "It's David. He
tried to attack. But it wasn't his fault. But when he attacked,
and then
he goes, "Calm down,
the
calm
lawyer
down."
sighs. He goes, "I should have told you. When you unlock memories, you can't stop them from just pouring on out."
The subject, the receiver, the rememberer will.
I feel like you should have a standardized term for this. It
But
is
I'm
your
just reading the
field.
book right now, and I'm pretty sure in the last chapter it said the rememberer will not know whether they're in the remembrance
You mean
or
the
reality.
memory?
It's called the 3 R's. Okay. That's a good one. Oh, can I play?
This?
Can I play the lawyer?
Yeah.
Cube 2.
Oh, awesome.
I can't. Can I say that?
Cube 2? Why couldn't you say a cube 2?
I don't know. Copyright.
Is the third cube... Wait, is there a cube squared? Wait, cube 2 should be cube squared, right?
No, 3.
Cube cubed. 4 is cube.
This is cube doubled.
Okay. So...
What just happened? It was great.
Yeah.
I'm going to play the lawyer. Oh, he goes, what did he say?
He explains, like, yeah, when you unlock the memory.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes the rememberer won't know if they're in the remembrance or reality.
And she goes,
we
what's
call
that
it
mean?
the 3 R's.
And he goes, that means we gotta find him.
Because he will be slipping in and out of these remembrances.
Yeah. Okay, so the lawyer, what's the lawyer's name? Frank
Element.
Oh, Frank Element. Fucking awesome name.
You named him.
What's his car like?
It's an old whoopty, you know?
No, what's a whoopty?
You know, like an old caddy.
Okay.
You know, the old man cars?
Yeah.
There's like the leather seats are so comfortable.
Yeah, okay, so he comes like driving in.
Really boxy caddy.
Yeah, he picks up Mandy's like, get in. And they drive, and where do they find David?
Walking on the side of the road.
Okay, but
towards the scene
how do
of
we
the
make
accident.
that interesting? Okay.
Because in the beginning we see a sign that they pass before they see them, and as they're driving,
and they stop and they start yelling at him, but he keeps walking, and then they follow him, and then he leans down, and he picks up the Mesopotamian knife.
That they didn't find, or that they found it.
It's another one.
Okay.
Right? It's the left-hand blade.
I think we got to get this lady back in the
I think
film.
no, they didn't find it because remember.
He's just walking.
He's just okay. He's walking. Help me.
Oh my God. Okay, yeah. So he's walking, and they're like, "David, get in!" And he's just walking. He goes, and he's just kind of like in his own world, muttering to himself. And he goes, "It's no use. He's in a remembrance."
I really think it's called a memory.
Let me just talk to him. I know him best.
Yeah.
David, listen to me. It's Sandy. I know you can hear me. And just as she's saying this, we see reflecting lights on her face of red and blue.
Yeah.
We hear whoop, whoop, whoop.
Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone's like, oh my God. And he goes, why don't you pull over there? Mm-hmm. And everyone pulls over. And now we're like, oh, fuck. And then the sheriff gets out. Oh, so we see the sheriff's car through. We have the perspective from the passenger seat, looking out the driver's side window, and we see the sheriff walking towards us. All we can see is his waist shot, and his cock is coming towards the window. You know, it's a very masculine shot.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, it's symbolism, and he's just coming. All we see is his waist down. You know, well, his pelvis area.
It's the
view you get of a cop.
Yes.
And then so his cock is right there. And then, his pelvis. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I just, I've been pulled over by the cops, and it's never occurred to me how much it is their cock that you come into contact with first.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. It's very, immediately off the bat, like, he's dominant, you're the receiver.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going to really project that in the scene. And so then he's, it's like, once he gets in front of the window, he stops for like 2 seconds, and it's just pure pelvis. And another good one. And then he bends down, and we see his face now. And what does he say?
He says,
"Y'all lost."
Yeah. And they go, Sheriff, what do you want?
Was it illegal for him to walk? Was it illegal to talk to someone walking on the side of the road? He goes, well, actually, if hitchhiking is illegal here in sex.
And they go, we know this guy. This is my client. He's not hitchhiking.
He goes, officer, this is my brother-in-law. Obviously, you know who he is, and he's not well. Can we just get him in the car and leave? Why are you doing this to us?
And he goes, maybe me and Roy should actually just escort him back.
And Roy's already on this. We didn't see Roy sneak up on. You know the other cop always sneaks up on the passenger side.
And Frank goes, "What's the cop's name? Of his first name?"
Sheriff. We just call him Sheriff.
But his. You would think his ex-husband would call him by his first name.
He never does though.
He goes, "Sheriff."
No, he never responds to him because he doesn't even. That's how blocked he is.
No, we've had them back and
But
forth.
he doesn't
this
have
whole
to
time.
ever say his name.
He goes, "God damn it.
He goes, yeah, God damn it.
What are you getting at? Haven't you taken
are
enough?
harassing me.
Haven't you taken enough from me? Now you gotta fuck with these people too?" And he goes, "That's my job. Fucking with them and fucking with you."
And he goes, speaking of which, and he looks over his shoulder into the back seat and he sees the Law and Hypnotism ? Book. He goes, speaking of which, you fucked in the head. No. I think he just laughs at him.
Trying to rebrand, Frankie?
He goes, and I love how your hobby turned into your career. Right?
Yeah. He tell you about how he'd always be in the backyard hypnotizing frogs.
You ever tell him about that, Frankie?
Making their heads blow up. He goes, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah. What is he talking about?
He goes, "You'll see. Have fun."
He goes, oh. No, he looks at and he laughs at the hypnotism book and he goes, love how you turn your hobby into a career. He goes, say, lady, did he ever tell you why he really got into hypnotism? And she looks at him and it's really quiet. And the sheriff looks at Frank, who's just looking forward and just like,
Yeah.
and he's just like, I guess I'll just leave that to time.
And then he takes out an hourglass and puts it on the dashboard.
That'd be bad fucking ass.
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
And then we notice he has a bunch of hourglasses in his pocket, so he could do that whenever it's dramatic.
So then it's really awkward silence, and then he's like, he's about to pull out, and he goes, "Get your sick friend out of here, before I get you out of here." No, I think we should leave it at that.
That's fine.
Get your sick friend out of here before we all get sick, because I'm gonna fuck y'all. No, yeah. He goes, "Get your sick friend out of here," and he leaves.
Yeah. So then, now they're all at a diner having coffee.
Dave's still in a suit.
No, I don't think.
Oh yeah, because he woke up on the porch.
Yeah. And he goes, Dave looks at the lawyer, he goes, "What did you do to my mind?" And he goes,
No, he goes, my mind. What did you do to it?
he's like, "I unlocked it, but I might have opened the door too wide."
And Sandy goes, what do you mean? A door is either open or closed. Why would anyone have it half open?
And then he goes, "Haven't you ever heard of ajar?"
She goes, yeah, but in this metaphor, it should just be open or closed. What is a jar? Who cares?
The door's ajar, Sandy.
And we got to do something about it.
He goes, "Well, close it." He's like, "If I close it, you'll be catatonic again. But what I can do is open it all the way up." And he goes, "What would that mean?" He's like, "You might remember."
A little lady's face. No, he goes, you might remember a certain lady.
No, I think he goes,
I think he goes.
I think he goes, "You'll be able to better distinguish your remembrances from reality, but you're going to remember all your remembrances, and it's more than your mind wants you to remember."
Because it then becomes reality, which
No.
it actually isn't.
No. The whole point is that
We cut to Sandra just looking at him like a dog when you have a treat in your hand.
the idea is he won't have these half flashbacks anymore, but he's going to remember more than he's ready to remember. And then David goes, "I'm ready for anything." And then
Yeah, right then and there at the table again.
he goes, "Well,
And no,
let me sleep on it." And then And then David grabs the lawyer's hand. And he goes,
goes,
now.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
And then the lawyer goes,
No, the lawyer.
funny how we always in public when we're doing this.
You're just lucky I love hypnotism.
He goes, usually I do this in a quiet room. Now this is twice we in public. Promise you ain't gonna scream.
And then Sandy asks, what did you used to...
And why are you becoming more and more sassy?
Why did you used to... how did you get into hypnotizing? He's like, I used to work at Petco, where the pets go. And the one I worked at, they went there to get hypnotized.
Wait, that's the reason that the sheriff didn't spill?
You gave us a job to do. Now we have to like solve that mystery.
It's gonna be fun. That's the whole point of this.
I was just giving it a shot.
Yeah. Okay, so then he goes, he says the whole thing about being in public. Mm-hmm. And he takes the thing out and he goes, y'all ready for a ride?
Okay. Oh, because this time it's not a pocket watch, it's a Matchbox car.
That's going in circles.
Yeah.
And they all stare at it. And they all go back into his remembrance.
That's not how hypnotism works.
No, but that's what he's getting into.
Okay.
It's not hypnotism, it's transcendental transportation.
No, he's not that... What do you... He's reading a book called Hypnotism in the Law, ? He's not that good of a hypnotist.
But maybe he got good.
Okay.
Because he doesn't know the law side.
They're all going back. But they're not just going back to that night. They see the face, the demon face, and they go into it. And they go into ancient Mesopotamia, where they see people drumming and priestesses praying and blood sacrifices.
And heads getting smashed.
Heads getting smashed and the head smashing mechanisms.
And David goes, this is impossible. How can I remember something I've never experienced?
Yeah. And he goes, I told you, the door is open.
This isn't your remembrance. You're receiving others.
And then we see...
You need to control the flow. Only yours, David.
Wait, no.
Only remember yours.
And then it starts slowing down, and they can walk through the scene, and it's all happening in slow motion. And they look up the stairs, and they see the demon face sitting on a throne.
Watching them, every move.
And it's not in slow motion. It walks down, and it goes, hello, the lawyer, the David, and the Sandra.
The widower, and...
Okay.
I'm gonna cut that out.
Hey, take it easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, he got mad.
I'm just trying to make this fun for everyone.
Okay, so then they're in the remembrance. Wait, so what did we say happened?
They're in the remembrance zone.
But he's controlling the flow and only getting his own now.
No, he's just controlled. He just slowed down the scene.
And did what? What was the purpose?
I don't know, but they're being confronted by the demon.
Oh, because now he goes, oh no. She goes,
oh no.
Because they see him approaching. That's too much like The Cell, but I love that movie.
Yeah, so let's steal it.
Okay, so they see him approaching. He's not a throne. We can't steal a throne. He's just coming down.
Yeah.
Like the Madonna. And he's like almost
Was
like...
he? The demon was
The
a
demon woman, sorry. It's the demon. They see a demon in the sky and it's coming down. It's kind of like that scene from Contact. And as it gets closer and closer, it starts blurring into the shape of a woman.
Yeah.
And as it's just right there in front of him, it's the woman.
And then it turns into fully the demon, androgynous, no gender, but it's just the demon face on like a blank.
No. We want her to say
skeletal
something
body.
first. It has to be like attention.
Remember me?
No, she's like, oh, I haven't seen you in so long. And she's like pretending like she's like really sad and,
Yeah.
and lonely. And she goes, and what does she do?
I don't know. None of this makes sense.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he goes, so I think the demon is a male, even though it's the same face as the old woman because he was possessing her. And it walks up to them and he goes, "So you've entered my domain."
I see you've opened the door. Oh, wait. He goes, yeah,
I like that. "I see you've opened the door."
all the way.
That was dumb because now I can come out and play.
We're in my remembrances.
And then they wake up and they look, and everyone in the diner, the customers and
Oh, I
the
love when you
waiters
forget that you're somewhere else. You know, in the
have
movie?
the demon's face.
Really?
Yeah, and they all come towards them to attack.
No.
I mean, that was pretty cool.
But I want to get there slowly get there.
Okay.
So they come back in the diner and they go, "What the fuck happened?" He goes, "Those weren't your remembrances. I'm sorry. We got overtaken immediately." We were overtaken immediately by her. And
I gotta take a picture.
and
You're really acting, and your face looks completely different. Hey, I want a video. Hey, be the lawyer.
no, now I'm self-conscious. He's like, "Those were not your remembrances. We were overtaken." It was natural before that.
Okay.
And she goes, "What do you mean?"
What do you mean? Keep going.
She was like, "You need to." You didn't have control. There was no control. We were immediately taken over. And as they're saying this, the waitress comes over, and again, it's a pelvis shot. You know, don't record me. We're already recording here.
It's a pelvis shot.
Because they're talking, and we see a pelvis shot, and it's approaching. It's similar to the last one.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Are you guys ready to order yet?" And they all look up to say no, like because we're in the middle of something. And it's the woman from the U-Haul. Mm-hmm. It's the demon lady. And he goes, "Oh my God, we're still in remembrance."
Oh my God, we killed it. Okay, keep it going.
And then they flash, and they're back again. And they go, they're like, "Oh." And that's when your scene happens. But it's not the remembrance, it's reality.
Yeah. Now they're all demons, and they start approaching them, and there's no way out.
And she goes, "It's okay, David, it's just a remembrance."
And
And he goes, "No, it ain't."
So then the lawyer, you know how there's the like metal thing that holds like the salt shakers and the ketchup, like all and like napkins and shit on the table at a diner?
Yeah. I know what that is.
He takes that and he smashes open the window beside them. He goes, "Let's go!" And they jump out the window to get away from all these demon-possessed patrons and waiters and waitresses. And they jump in his caddy, but there's fucking diner patrons, like holding on to the fucking car, chewing on the rearview mirror.
And they all have her face.
Yeah. And they're, they drive through a cornfield to shake them off. And they find...
This is intense, like Terminator 2 style?
Yeah, and they stop, and they're like, "I think that was all of them." And then, red and blue lights behind them. The sheriff. Cut to the scene, they're all in jail. They're all in the
Because they don't have, they were hallucinating.
they're in the
probably.
holding cell.
And there's a news report on.
Yeah, they killed a
they're
bunch.
like, "There's a massive massacre downtown. Over 25 people hit by a hit and run inside of a diner.
Yeah. And the sheriff...
Crowds gathered outside when there was a fight between two patrons of the diner, and then it's a whole thing about how he sped off, and there's cell phone footage showing people running and them swerving and hitting people.
But we can
and
see...
they all are, and the footage shows them in the car laughing and like acting crazy like the lady. My face changed when I was acting. They were acting like that, and they stopped the cell phone footage on the news of the lawyer and them laughing hysterically with this wild face, eye in their look in their eye.
And the sheriff is leaning against the bars, and he goes, Frank, what did you do? He's not even trying to like intimidate him anymore. He's like, you got yourself into too much of a mess with all this hypnotism.
He should use terms of endearment.
Yeah, he's like,
sweetheart,
I was mad at you, but I never wanted it to be like this.
You know deep down I still love you.
I don't think he has to say that.
Okay. Well, he says sweetheart.
Yeah, he is using terms of endearment.
It's like an old married couple.
Yeah. It's showing that there's still like some kind of like fucked up love there, like a divorced couple has.
Like someone's being brainwashed, one of them?
No, just like, yeah, I think a lot of divorce, they're like you still love and you hate the person.
Yeah, it's like, oh God. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that feeling. Now this is happening through the bars.
Yeah, and Frank looks up and he goes, you're not safe. And the sheriff goes, are you threatening me? He goes, no, you have to believe me. It's not safe out there. We let something out. And he goes,
boy, if you are threatening me, I swear. And just as he says that, he gets fucking stabbed to the throat.
By Roy, his partner.
Who has a wild look in his eye because he's...
No, he's got the demon face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yes.
He's holding the Mesopotamia knife from evidence.
Yes. And guess what else is in evidence?
What?
The jaws of life.
The jaws of death.
Yes. And that's where Ray goes. Because he's got to get them. He can't find the keys.
Yeah, so he's using those to pry open the... So how did the initial woman in the beginning get possessed?
Maybe she's just a surrogate.
So now those are two like questions we have: is how did she get possessed?
Well, all good horror movies have plot holes.
Oh yes, that's what writing a story should be
beauty
like.
of writing.
Well, that's just a plot hole.
You just leave it behind.
Those are gonna happen. No, we need to. He goes, okay, yeah, no. The Roy explains like. The door was ajar. That's how I found that first lady. But you busted wide open, and now everyone in sex is mine.
This is what the lawyer said?
No, this is what
the
Ray...
lawyer. It's his fault. I just realized.
Yes.
The lawyer started the hypnotism back, and that's why they got divorced. The sheriff's really the good one.
He hypnotized that lady because she was trying to quit smoking.
And now that the audience knows this, he realized that every time the sheriff interacted with him, he's been trying to get the guy and girl away from him.
Yes.
And it came off as him trying to ruin the case.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Because that first lady, she was just trying to quit smoking. But there was no licensed hypnotherapist in town. So she went to the lawyer that worked at Petco.
And he opened the door.
He opened it ajar. Yes. Okay.
And he goes, and the sheriff's now standing by the door. And we know it's another cock shot. And he bends down and he goes, I think it's time to tell your friends about your hobby. How your hobby began.
Yeah.
And then they're sitting in the cell. We cut to them looking at them, kind of just like mice trapped in a corner. And they go, what is he talking about, Frank?
No, I mean, in broad strokes, we just explained what happened. Let's not worry, because let's not worry about the dialogue.
No, well, I was going to have him do something.
Okay.
What do you mean? Okay, what are you going to do?
I was going to get right to, now Roy is possessed, trying to use the jaws of death to open up the bars.
Oh, yeah, because we went back to what the sheriff said.
Yeah, but the sheriff's dead now.
Okay, so yeah. So he goes, I think it's about time you tell your friends where you got your little hobby from. And when he says that, he gets stabbed in the throat.
No. Then I think Frank does. And then they go, what was that woman's name? And then he says...
So we have a flashback.
And then he says the woman's name. And then in the flashback, we see her face. And that it's the same woman they picked up.
Yeah.
And now we know he opened the door ajar, let the demon out. Got her. And now he opened it wide open. And then just as none of them put this all together.
Yeah. He goes.
And now
He goes. No, so David goes out of his context. He goes. So that means the door is still left open.
And then
Yeah.
the fucking knife goes through the
Genius.
sheriff. And then he picks up the jaws of the.
Well, then we cut to the room, the evidence room, with him just like mindlessly throwing shit out of the way.
Yeah.
Like bags of cocaine, just like ripping them open.
Yeah.
And just like throwing everything. And then he sees like underneath the table, he throws it and there's a box.
Yeah. The jaws of life wouldn't be. Oh, I guess those would be evidence in that case. Yeah.
It's in like a crate, you know?
Yeah.
So then, and then he just sees it. He like kind of like comes upon it. And we see the light on his face. And then we cut back
Yeah.
to them freaking out because they can't reach the keys. And they don't know what to do.
Well, now he's trying to open the bars.
Who?
Ray.
Yeah, well, now he
Roy.
comes back. Roy comes back. Ray.
No, Roy.
I think it should change back from Ray to Roy.
I don't think it should.
So Ray comes back, and now he's like trying to get in. And we see him like stepping over the keys, so we know he's like mindlessly possessed.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of like living a flashback maybe or something. And then he sticks the jaws of death in there. And then it's this really awesome scene with like the bars bending and them trapped in the corner like mice, you know? And what do they do?
You keep saying like mice.
Well, that's just the scene. That's the scene.
Okay.
The feel. The imagery.
What do they do?
What would you do?
The lawyer takes his pocket watch, swings it like a whip around the dead sheriff's gun, and pulls it in to the cell. Then he starts blasting at Roy. Then Roy realizes he has a gun.
Yeah, because as he's getting the bars to bend open, they're on the floor in the corner trying to work while she's quivering in the corner.
Yeah.
And he goes, the pocket watch. And he takes the pocket watch and Indiana Jones whips it. Because all he needs is like a foot, you know?
Yeah, he grabs the gun and then he blows Roy away.
Yeah, just like laying there right on the ground. He just turns on his shoulder.
Now
and it goes up Roy's like elbow, like under his elbow area, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
And then, so now it blows his head open.
Yes.
But then they run, and all of a sudden, as they're running, we see in the background, Roy's skeleton is ripping out of his body to chase them.
Really?
Hell yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But then they get into, it jumps on top of the sheriff's car. They get in the sheriff's car, and now they're driving. And they're like, where are we going to go? And Frank goes, Frank goes, we're going to get out of sex. And then David goes, but all the people. And then Frank hits the brakes. He's like, you're right.
No, the line should be, where are we going to go? I don't know, anything but sex.
And then Frank hits the brakes and it's like, you're right. We must close the door.
No more sex for anyone.
It really makes no sense that the town's called sex.
It's the like best thing. All right, so wait a minute. It can't just end terribly.
No, it doesn't, but they got to close the door now.
Yeah.
So how? Okay, so David's like, do you have to go back into my mind? And he goes, no, your mind is busted wide open.
We'll have to use me as a boat. They go, is that a term?
It's an old hypno lawyer term.
It's in there.
No, there's like, we'll need a tightly closed mind. Sandra's.
Okay, you got to edit that out.
Why? Why?
Because you called her closed-minded.
That's not racy.
In this day and age.
Talking about.
What
are you talking about?
Come on.
Go. Okay. So, so are they not another hypnotism scene, right? That's getting a little boring.
That's terrible. No 3 times.
So what happens, Gerald?
they need to just
This is a very visually interesting movie.
even though it's very repetitive visually.
Let's stop watching Cube 2. Hypercube.
Which has more special
No, it's a
CGI.
really interesting looking movie, so just don't look at it.
Oh, okay, so then, I mean, how would we get them back together without another hypnotism scene?
Well, no, how does he close the door? That's what they have to do.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I just saw it.
Show me.
He goes, the lawyer says, oh my gosh. The lawyer says, there's only one way we have to do this. and Sandra's like, what? What do we have to do? And David goes, I think I know. And the lawyer says, we have to do the biggest hypnotism anyone's ever seen.
I love it.
And then so they go back to the field where it happened.
Yeah.
And now it's like, it's really, it's almost like you feel the storm coming. It's almost like the same kind of night, you know? And they're like, what do we need to do? He's like, just follow me. And now they're standing out by the area and they're just standing there. And Sandra's like looking down the road, freezing. She got her hands together. And you see like smoke coming out of their mouths from the cold. And she goes, where are we going to do it right here? Like, are you sure we don't need anything else? Mm-hmm. He goes, well, we don't need anything else. And just as he says that, we see a cop car coming. And she's like, oh my fucking, are you kidding me? Like, she starts freaking out. She's like, you fucking kidding me? Like, I can't believe, like, we need to go somewhere else. We need to get this over with right now. We don't have fucking time for this. And then the sheriff gets out.
Sheriff's dead.
Oh, yeah, the sheriff's dead. So.
The sheriff's brother.
No, it's Ray.
Roy, remember his skeleton crawled out of his body?
It's the skeleton then.
Okay.
We see the cop car come, and then it's like kind of like the skeleton's growing back, you know? And it's turning into her almost.
Okay.
It's just a crazy looking thing.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. And so it's approaching, and she's like, oh my God. And just as that, the lawyer pulls out the gun.
Yeah.
And he's like, and she's like, do it now, just do it.
Uh-huh.
He goes, oh, I'm gonna do it. And he just takes a gun and shoots her in the face.
Shoots Sandra in the face? Why?
And that's what David said. He goes,
Why?
why? And he just looks up and he shoots him 3 times in the chest. And he
Shoots
blows
David
back.
3 times in the chest?
Yes. And then the creature approaches and they both look down at them. And then Mr. Element turns to the creature and says, I missed you, sweetie.
Now that's homophobic.
Or should he blow his own brains out?
How about...
Because he's the only one that has the key to remembrance.
No, how about none of this fucking makes sense, and we actually do need the biggest hypnotism of all time?
All right, so then take us there. I got us in the field.
We use public access television.
Oh, for everyone's remembrances.
Yes.
Oh my good God.
And they go, who watches public access TV? And they go, you don't know sex. Everybody. Because guess what they show on public access TV and sex? Sex.
Really?
Yeah. So they bust into the public access studio and there's a couple having sex. Like real, like average looking people.
And there's and the cameramen are old men just like falling asleep while like refilming it.
Yeah.
And the camera's drifting.
And they go, get out of here. And then he goes, my name is Frank Element, attorney at law, and I need you to listen up. Watch my clock.
And I have a message for you.
You're getting sleepy. You're getting sleepy. Then the whole town is in Mesopotamia. That's not how you say it. Mesopotamia. And now you just see a bunch, for some reason you see a bunch of Virginians, a bunch of modern Virginians. They all look scared. And
They all have their pants down and lotion in their hand.
yeah. And the demon comes down and he goes, why did you bring these modern masturbators to my territory?
Might as well brought me a pig full of swine.
And then he goes, because I know the only thing that could stop you. They all start.
Middle-aged men masturbating.
No, it's women too, and everyone.
Oh.
No, and everybody starts masturbating, and all the
Come on. Why do you always
the sound
do
starts
this?
driving the demon
My
crazy.
ending wasn't
And she
good.
goes, you're killing me. And he melts. But now they're all trapped in
Mesopotamia land.
500 BC Mesopotamia.
BC?
Yes.
Jesus.
And they teach
Mandarin.
the Mesopotamians
Mandarin.
about, okay,
How
They-
dare you say my ending, which is completely coherent?
okay, third time's a charm. So, where we left off, the last time this story made sense was when he said, we need to do the biggest hypnotism ever.
And honestly, in my mind, when I said that, I saw a huge pendulum swinging from a crane.
Get me there and I'll go there. Oh, what? Maybe there's something in town that can serve
The
as
clock tower.
yeah, you know, the old clock tower.
Big Ben. Okay, the old clock tower in town.
Yeah.
He goes, oh shit, it ain't gonna work. Like, why? He goes, I need a pendulum 50 feet long. And he go,
The old clock tower in town.
the old clock tower. He goes, oh my God, the old clock tower. He goes, and David goes, now who's born in sex? They go, well, still me technically.
So he gets on. They get on top of the clock tower. He's got a
Cut all that out.
megaphone. I'm gonna cut out anything that doesn't make us sound amazing.
Okay. To Jerry.
I did leave in something you said to cut out, and because it was so fun. Because I was like, it's like 3 girls and a guy, and you're like, that sounds so annoying. Cut that out. But your timing was so good, I had to leave it in.
Good.
Okay. You know what I did cut out of the last episode? The only story we finished.
You cut it out?
It was no good. It sucked. Like the best
Which
part
one was it?
about ghosts or something. Okay, never mind. So he gets on top of the pendulum. He's got a megaphone. He's like, "People of sex, listen here.
Sextians.
There's a demon attack or something. I don't know. How's he get their attention?
Wait, how did they get this pendulum?
It's the old clock tower.
Yeah, but would they have to go disassemble it?
No, they just pushed it. So now it's going back and forth. I don't know.
And he's up there with a megaphone.
Okay, no. It's the church bell.
Yeah. Yeah?
No, you
No,
looked like,
I said the old clock tower.
you looked like you had an idea.
I had an idea that it's gonna, like, how do you get there though? They're gonna fake a suicide attempt to get up there, to get the news crews to shoot the cameras at them.
Yes.
That they're gonna jump. But really, they want the pendulum in the background.
Yes.
As he's standing there. It's this beautiful scene with a spotlight on him.
Yeah, oh my God,
His
beautiful.
shadow
Yeah.
on the pendulum
Yeah,
that's going
yeah.
in and out of shadow. And he goes, ladies and gentlemen
You're getting sleepy.
of sex, you are falling.
Asleep.
And then, that's when there's, again, like in the beginning, the sound fades in the background. His voice comes up in like really ASMR. And then, what does he do?
I don't know. Well, now.
Well, he recites the similar thing that the audience is used to get to hypnotize.
Yeah, and now he needs to close the door. How does he close the door?
I think, oh my God, okay, so I wanted a sinister ending, and this is the sinister ending.
Yeah,
It's a trick,
it's a trick.
because he's trying to make up this whole time for a mistake he did back in the 90s. Specifically 1997 when he opened the door. You know what I'm saying?
What do you know?
No, listen, because the door's open, he's been trying this whole time to close it, he's known what's going on. So,
He opened the door when he tried to help that woman quit smoking.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. That event.
Why was it in 1997?
I don't know. It seems like in the 90s.
No, it was a year ago.
Okay, a year ago. So the door's been open. He knows it, and so now he's gotten the town and like everyone to go into the other like the remembrance, and he fucking leaves them there.
In Mesopotamia?
He closes the door on them. He's the offering. He gave them what he wanted.
Oh, he gave them to the demon.
The town.
And but David and Sandra are there, and they see that the town's empty.
Well, yeah. Now they come back, and everything's normal. It's like morning,
Yeah.
and there's just no one around, and they're walking around. It just looks like a nuke town, you know.
Yeah.
And they go. They talk about before that how they did it, and it's great.
Wasn't the whole reason he was doing this was to? Okay, yeah. They go, but
No, it becomes a very selfish person.
no, he's not. He's making a hard decision because
It's a trolley decision.
They go, but you just gave the demon what they wanted, and he goes, no, David, the demon wanted the world.
We gave them a taste. They'll be back. They always come back. Fade out.
Fade out to the worst ending.
What do you mean? We just fed a town to a demon. How is that the worst ending? Do you understand? Well, there needs to be more. They need to walk around and be like, what happened? Okay, and then they're standing in the town square where everyone should be on a busy Saturday morning.
I don't like it. Let's take it back to the fake.
I need to hold on to that.
The fakes. Well, that's director's cut. Faked suicide attempt. He hypnotizes them. And now, how else can they shut the door?
I gave you a town sacrifice. I Jonestowned you, and you said, no, that's not good enough.
Okay. But I don't like they always come back then.
No. Well, that doesn't have to happen.
Okay,
Maybe he doesn't even fucking know. He goes, I don't know, I'm still reading the book.
we need to earn the town sacrifice because nothing happened. It's a movie. We need something visual to happen. All right.
I gave you gold.
You gave me lead.
So what?
he's up there. He goes, you're getting sleepy. Very sleepy. And then, oh, okay. All right. Fuck.
What were you going to say?
Well, maybe no. Okay, all right. I'll just fucking make something happen. You get sleepy, very sleepy. And then he opens the door wider. He's like, you are letting the demon into you. You are.
The whole town gets possessed?
Yeah, the whole town gets possessed. He's like,
because that's his plan.
But he goes, then he's like, you are coming to the clock tower. And they all start. And as that's happening, the sun begins to rise. And they melt.
Come on.
Okay.
When you're watching a movie and that happens, wouldn't you be like, I want my money back?
All right, your turn.
Again?
No, yes, until we find something we like.
Oh my God.
This is how it happens.
So the town goes to Mesopotamia?
That seems to be what we're saying.
And then that's where they encounter where they can close the door.
Yes. How do they close the door?
Well, I think the whole town should be in like the city of the dead, and wait, where's Mesopotamia?
In the Middle East, I believe.
Well, some crazy 500 BC tribe should find them, and they surround them.
Yeah.
And then the leader comes through the crowd, the crowd parts, and here we see the leader, and it's her. Mm-hmm. But she's all dressed up as a 500 BC Mesopotamian queen.
Yeah.
And she's like, to the whole town, which is crazy. There's a lot of people. But David and Mr. Element and all of them, they all step forward as the spokespeople, obviously.
Yeah.
And what did they say?
They say, well, Mr. Element looks at her and says, I know what you want. And she goes, I want the future. I want the whole of it. And he goes, you'd have to fight for the future. You'd have to fight the whole damn planet. But I've given you this town. For free. And she's like, that will do for now.
She goes, You're giving me sex?
And he goes, I guess I am.
He goes, let's get it on.
But I'm keeping the world. And then they snap back and everyone's missing.
Is he God? Why would he say I'm keeping the world?
No, because the whole idea is what we said before, but now we've actually drawn it out. Now she's going to be satisfied with this for like a millennia before she tries to take over the world again.
Yes.
And then Frank goes, "How can you sleep at night?"
Wait,
yeah. Then he goes, "You sacrificed the whole town. How can you sleep at night?" And he goes, "Easy. I know hypnotism." And the credits roll.
Oh my God. Take 7.
You want to try again?
I gave you a Mesopotamian queen.
Well, who's to say what the right... We can... Do you want to... Jerry? I'm not going to veto it. Whatever you say next is the ending, but it's got to be something brand new.
Okay. That's a deal. But from where? You tell me the point.
You tell me where.
No, you have to tell me your starting point.
He says, it's right before he says we have to do the biggest hypnotism ever. So you don't even have to do that.
What happened? What was happening?
They just
then?
escaped the sheriff's place.
Oh, because of Ray and everything.
Yeah,
Joe's
yeah.
life, they're running.
Yeah. Now they're driving around in the sheriff's car.
And she goes, "Stop the car!" And he goes, "What?" And everyone starts freaking out, looking around. She goes, "Just stop the car!" And we get an outside shot, and it slams on the brakes. Red lights in the dark. And he goes, "What?" She goes, "I'm fucking sick of running. This needs to stop now." She goes, "You need to tell me the truth. Who are you? What is all of this? What is happening?" And then David should say, "I'll tell you." Don't look at me like I know what I'm talking about. Come on.
He goes,
And everyone kind of, you hear the sound of leather as they all turn around, look at him like,
when the door was open in my mind,
"I saw something."
I saw the three of us as the last humans on the planet. And they go, "How could that be? Are you saying everyone's going to die?" He goes, "No.
This is the end of everyone?
I'm saying we could live forever."
Yeah, if this is the end of the... Wait, what?
And he goes, "Doesn't that sound good?" And he's possessed. And then he bites Frank on the shoulder and rips his shoulder off. And Frank's screaming. And then Sandra goes, "David!" and then he tears her apart.
That's
too.
no fair. I sound like a crazy person laughing at what just happened and no one's going to ever see it. All right. Wait, sorry. So he goes, he bites him. She jumps out of the car. She's not dumb. And then what happens?
And then she runs, and he goes after her, but then he stops, and then she realizes she just ran past the town line.
She's out of sex.
The demon can't leave sex.
Why?
Because the door was open in sex.
Those jurisdiction lines drawn in the sand.
No, then Frank comes out. He's got his shoulder open. He's like, "It can't leave sex. You don't understand. Sex means..." What number does sex mean? Sextuplets? What is that, 6?
6.
Is it?
Yeah.
He goes, "Sex means 6. It's the 6 points of
The demon.
Baphomet. We bound the demon in sex."
It's where the gates of hell
And she goes,
arrive, bro.
She goes, "But how do we get everyone out?" He goes, "You can't. You gotta keep us in." And
up out of his shoulder that's bitten out, he goes, "You can't, you gotta," and a head starts growing out, and it's the woman's face, and it's like emerging out of an egg or a womb, and it kind of looks like a womb.
Yeah.
And she comes out and she goes, "You were everywhere."
In sex.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She goes.
The whole point is they can't get out of sex. They're not
She
everywhere.
goes, "We own sex."
Well, okay.
No, that's stupid.
No, we said this was going to be the ending,
Okay.
whatever it was. So maybe we got to zhuzh it up.
Okay. She goes, "You'll never." No, she goes, "We are sex."
But then cops come from the other town and they see it and they go, I can't believe it. And she goes, don't cross that line. And then the whole government comes and they have to build a dome over sex and quarantine it.
They're like,
as this
sex is now
demon.
protected.
Yeah, it's this demon habitat. And now we cut like
And it's shaped like a condom, a little tip on top.
yeah, and then we cut to a year in the future, and there's just like people watching TV because there's like rovers like with little cameras just filming this demon habitat that is sex, and it's like on the Discovery Channel.
And where are the
shit.
people in Mesopotamia still?
No, they're all demons. They're all possessed.
Oh, yeah, that never happened.
Yeah,
And they're just all wandering around sex?
yeah.
Like, is it like
It's just
biblical,
hell.
like sex, like
No,
orgies,
it's
demon
like
orgies?
hell, but on Earth.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
Sex is gross. Ew.
It's so dirty in sex.
The end. Oh, and Sandra.
And David. Oh, David was... Wait, did that happen?
Did David die? Yes, David got
He's
possessed.
the one who bit.
And Sandra is watching TV,
She's traumatized.
and she sees one of the demons, and she sees it's David. It has David's hair.
Listen.
I think that's good. You get what I'm saying? Like
No, but I
on
want-
the Discovery Channel, like the thing, like where there's like footage from the demon habitat. She sees her brother-in-law.
Oh, so it's like... It's norm now.
Yeah, the whole world knows about.
And she sees her brother in there.
yeah, like walking around like a demon, and she goes,
Well, shouldn't she be in a crazy house?
no, she's just in a normal house.
All right. As she
The-
sips her tea?
She goes, David. The end. Jaws of death.
Yeah, I like that. David. And a tear.
Yeah.
And in the tear's reflection.
Oh, and no, and then it pans back, and it's a picture of David and Mindy on their wedding day.
No, we have to leave it that somehow
No.
the sex has leaked the demons.
No.
The condom broke.
Maybe after the credits.
No,
Maybe
it's-
after the credits.
No, listen. This woman is in...
Just fucking finally got an end to this movie.
Listen, she's in a wheelchair. It's mimicking the imagery of David.
Okay.
She's in a wheelchair looking down in front of this television in like a place. And then it's even better because we're having more imagery coming that we had before. We see a crotch shot of a nurse coming.
Yeah.
And the nurse is coming. And we didn't say it earlier, but there were significant rings on the lady's hand.
Significant rings.
And she puts her hand on her shoulder and says, "Time for tea, sweetie."
Because we saw a leak before.
A leak.
All right. Good night.